Welcome to this week's Eternal Monday and another episode of First Drafts. This is episode 17 of First Drafts, which, wow, feels like this series just started and already we're at episode 17. But with that in mind, we have two new decks facing off against one another. Like the series title suggests, these are first drafts. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to kind of take this a bit of a slower pace. We're going to explain the idea behind each of our first drafts, explain the concept of the deck, explain how the deck is expected to work. Then we're going to play a game against one another, kind of thinking through our thoughts out loud, or more so out loud than usual. And then at the end, we'll kind of look over our deck lists and give our thoughts on perhaps how we might change the deck going forward. With that in mind, my friend here is playing a Mega Rayquaza-EX deck. I am playing a Magcargo deck, and we're going to hear about the Mega Rayquaza list first.
So when I built this list, I was kind of looking at the standard Terrapagus-EX lists and trying to figure out how can I do this, but not with the stupid restriction of the first attack. Because obviously Unified Beatdown you can't use going second on your first turn. Mega Rayquaza has basically the same attack for one more colorless energy, doing 30 damage times the amount of your bench Pokemon. Problem is, it's a Mega, so you do have to have the Spirit Link, otherwise your turn ends when you evolve into it. But it does have the really cool ancient trait Delta Evolution, which says that you can evolve into it on your first turn or the turn it's played, the base Rayquaza-EX. So basically, this lets you use the Unified Beatdown attack on your first turn going second, unlike Terrapagus. So it's basically trying to be able to do the same thing that Terrapagus does, but starting on the first turn, unlike the standard version. So we are running Terrapagus as well, trying to basically just use Rayquaza for the first turn and then Terrapagus for the rest of the game. And to support these Pokemon on the bench, we are running a line of Porygon Z, the one from, I believe, Undaunted. It has Dimension Transfer, which is a really cool Pokepower that says once during your turn, you can flip a coin. If heads, search your deck for a trainer card, show it to your opponent, and put it on top of your deck. Now, because this is in that weird Diamond, Pearl, Heart, Gold, Soul, Silver era, trainer means item, which isn't that bad of a restriction, honestly. There's a lot of good items you can throw on top of your deck with this sort of effect that'll help you quite a bit. Our ace pick of choice for this sort of deck is Precious Trolley, just being able to fill our bench super quickly, and especially on the first turn with using Mega Rayquaza's attack to max out at that 240 damage. And to pay for Rayquaza's attack, since it is an evolution Pokemon, we are running Triple Acceleration Energy, which is basically just can only be attached to an evolution Pokemon and provides 3 colorless energy, and then discards itself at the end of turn. Pretty strong, being able to just power him up on a single attachment. Very nice. And then to attack with Terrapagus, we're running Double Colorless Energy. Basically just a better version of Double Turbo. Simply just 2 colorless energy, of course. And that's pretty much the deck. Fill your bench, attack for big numbers.
Yeah, you have a Skyfield to have that big bench. So.
Right. Skyfield lets us have the 8 bench spots.
Yeah, big card. For Magcargo says, hey, there are a lot of really good Magcargos because Magcargo is a Generation 2 Pokemon, so let's play around with those. We have both of the Smooth Over Magcargo. Here we have the Deoxys Smooth Over Magcargo that has the Pokemon power, or the Pokepower rather, Smooth Over, which lets you control the top card of your deck. Basically, you get to search your deck for a card and put it on top. And then you have the Smooth Over Magcargo ability from Celestial Storm that does the same thing as an ability. You're running a 1-1 split just so that you're able to get around restrictions like Garbotoxin shutting off the ability, or like a Cess or something of the sort, shutting off the Pokepower. Like Coop Gas also could shut off Pokepower, obviously. So here you have a couple of different ways to control your top deck. The biggest attacker in this deck is going to be Magcargo-EX. Magcargo-EX is from Twilight Masquerade, and it has the attack Hot Magma, which does 70 damage and burns your opponent's active Pokemon. That's not really anything to write home about, but Ground Burn for 3 energy does 140 plus damage, and it says discard the top card of each player's deck. This attack does 140 more damage rather, for each energy card discarded in this way. Typically, you're going to be doing 280 because you can control the top deck of your own top deck. Gets 280, knock something out if you got 280 or less. The only thing is the attack cost, and this is pretty awkward. It is fire, colorless to get to that attack cost. So there are a few ways that you can make that happen. or to make it a little bit easier to get to that attack cost. Here we have Magcargo-EX. If you're familiar with Kyurem VMAX, it has a similar ability. Crushing Charge says once during your turn, you may discard the top card of your deck. If it's a basic energy card, attach it to one of your Pokemon. So you could use this to accelerate to Magcargo-EX if you needed to. We also have a Slugma. This is from Undaunted, if I'm not mistaken. It says once during your turn, you may discard the top card of your deck. If that card is a fire energy card, attach it to Slugma. So before you evolve up, you could do the same kind of thing with Slugma, get an energy on it that way. There's also, of course, everybody's favorite supporter card of all time. And I say that very facetiously because I know a lot of people really hated this card when it was in format. But Welder. Welder is a supporter card that says attach up to 2 fire energy cards from your hand to one of your Pokemon. And if you do, draw 3 cards. This is one of the worst draw supporters I've ever seen. I'm mostly joking there, but it's also not good at the same time because if you don't have a fire energy in hand, it doesn't do anything. It's just a dead card. And that can be very frustrating when the deck is very reliant on it, as is going to be the case here with Magcargo. But it does allow you to get powered up. Let's ground burn, get powered up a little easier. So you can attach with Magcargo-EX or GX or with Slugma, and then Welder 2 more energy on, or Welder 1 on, draw another 1 attach, however you need to get to the 3 energy for ground burn. And then finally, the last piece of this puzzle, I think, is Power Circulation Mantine. Deck runs a couple of these. And it says, has of course, the Power Circulation. Once during your turn, you may search your discard pile for a basic energy card, show it to your opponent, and put it on top of your deck. If you do, put a damage counter on Mantine. And you can't use it if Mantine's affected by a special condition. So ideally, this is a way not only to recycle your fire energy, but also a way to preload the top of your deck for Magcargo and its ground burn attack. It's also a way to load the top of your deck for Slugma or for Magcargo-EX to make sure their abilities work so that you're not wasting your smooth overs specifically on loading the top of your deck for your attack. But that is the basic idea behind Magcargo-EX. Let's get shuffled up and try these decks out. Tails. I think I have to go first on this. I'm actually not at all certain how this would work. I evolve, so I feel like inherently I want to go first. Mm-hmm. So I'm just going to go with that. That is a hand, too. What is this? Okay. Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm going to draw for turn. That is not a card I was hoping to see. Buddy Poffin. My best choices are definitely going to probably be, I think, double Slugma. Because this guy can, well, I can do double Slugma, or I can do Slugma Mantine and trick the Mantine out now. I feel like that might just be a problem too.
I think the Mantine can come out later.
Yeah, if I just hope I hit the thing is, this deck is so reliant on having all the different Slugmas out that this hand sucks. It's like one card off from being okay. Mm. And one card would magically fix a lot of the hands, but that card. Buddy Poffin, super good. So glad that we have a Slugma we can grab with it.
Because I feel like it mostly has 80 HP nowadays.
Usually, yeah, or even 90. Isn't there a 90 HP Slugma too?
I want to say that's true. Yeah. He's really a bulky boy.
He is. He's chunky. It's funny. My first so I played a lot of Gold growing up, but I never saw Slugma and Magcargo until I played Sapphire. And so I still associate them with Gen 3, even though they're Gen 2 Pokemon.
They do feel like Gen 3 Pokemon. I agree with that.
I'm going to pass because I can't really do anything else this turn, so.
I think at this point, I have most of the pieces to do what I want for the first turn. I'm pretty much just missing the energy where I would be able to attack. But I don't think I'm going to be able to.
Yeah, energy would be real nice on my side, too.
I have the wrong energy in hand is the issue. Because unfortunately, stinky Terrapagus won't let me attack. So we're going to play Skyfield.
Fair enough.
We're going to play Ultra Ball. We're going to discard those.
Okay.
So here I want to try and get Lapras to grab Arven to grab Precious Trolley. Which is what I'm going to do. We're going to support navigation for Arven. I'm going to play Arven, Wally, and cool.
And this is where I should be very concerned about my Ditto.
And I guess Floatstone.
My Ditto was just a happy goo, and then
Is it hand? I'll play Precious Trolley. So because I have 8 bench spots, I get to get 6 basic Pokemon and put them on my bench.
I feel like it's a little busted.
A little bit. And also not the first time I've ran a deck that does this.
I feel like you do that a lot, actually.
I honestly, Precious Trolley Skyfield is one of my favorite combos in Pokemon, period. I don't think you snipe. So I don't think I need to worry about putting a Mime down. So those for sure. And then I think I might leave a single bench space open for it.
I mean, it's going to be very difficult for you to reach 40.
Right. Yeah, we'll grab those and bench them. I'm going to use Fanfall to grab 3 colorless Pokemon with 100 HP or less.
I have a feeling there's going to be some Porygon in that.
What makes you say that?
The fact that your deck's engine is Porygon.
Was there really only 2 targets for this? Are you serious? Those 2 for sure. Dang it, if only he had 10 less HP. He has 110.
Darn.
Just low enough. I think those are the only 2 I can grab, unfortunately. Because it looks like my Staraptor level X is prized.
I'll get it here in a second.
So, I think what we're gonna do is... Are you a Pokemon EX? Can I Intensifying Burn for 60?
The Prism Star is a Pokemon EX at heart, but unfortunately it's not actually a Pokemon EX.
Use a bit of hand. Floatstone, Retreat. I will attach a double coin.
I knew that was going to happen. I even talked about that before we recorded.
I'll put Rayquaza's Spirit Link on Rayquaza. And then I'll Assault Landing for knockdown.
Yeah. I think I have to promote Slugma.
So
Did I seriously call it?
No, this is my hand for the audience. That I took the other one off the price card, which is really funny.
Okay, so I'm going to evolve the bench Magcargo, or it's bench Slugma rather.
And kind of look at it. Just
Yeah.
because I need to refresh this. Discard top card.
Then a level ball.
Okay. So it's...
The Claydol.
Yep.
I'm gonna play Heat Factory Prism Star.
Get rid of Lapras because that's basically useless to me now. I think because I prize the Staraptor, I almost don't want to keep it.
Means you'll get it this next turn.
Yeah, we'll drop it.
So here's the conundrum I have. I have an evolution in a sense, and I can should use it now to get the Magcargo EX. Problem is, these 2 cards just need to go to the bottom of the deck. It will give me 6 first cards out of Cosmic Power, but I'm banking on a lot out of those 6 cards.
Yeah, because you'll need welder and 2 fire at least.
Yeah. Or I mean, I can try to get an extra fire if I get one with Heat Factory.
Mm-hmm.
I might try to draw extra cards anyway, just to draw cards because I'm not set up very well yet. Yeah, I think I just have to go for it as much as I would like to take advantage of an active volcano. I don't think I can.
What was the top card of your deck? Was it a fire?
Let me double check that real quick. 'Cause I think I just saw my pricing and
Is it as bad as mine?
it might be worse.
Because I prized the level X. I prized a Porygon 2. I think I prized at least one triple XL. Forget what else.
So I have priced 2 of the Magcargo EX,
Mm-hmm.
2 of the 3. And
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
The smooth over Poke Power on top of that.
Yeah, that's not that big a deal in this matchup, but this
In this matchup, no, but the fact that the price to the
yeah,
Magcargo
2 of
is
those, yeah, that's
real
pretty
rough. Then let's see, I have 2, 3. The welders are all on deck at least.
That's good.
There's something. I can knock out your Phantom if I get lucky enough to get 2 energy.
Yeah.
Off of the welder. I want to get 3 because I want to be able to get 2 energy and a welder and then draw into another energy or have a third energy in hand.
And you run how many fire?
This is a good question. I don't remember how many.
It was like 10, I think.
It's 10 sounds right. But I don't. Problem with doing a million decks is that you never remember anything. That's right.
So not
So-
terrible odds to get to.
Not great odds either.
But you have to hit a welder as well.
I've hit 2 and over.
So 3 of the 6 you're about to get have to be
Cards
specific
cards. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to put both of these cards on the bottom of Cosmic Power.
Mhm.
And I'm going to pray to Arceus that I get the cards I want out of these 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Did he hit it?
I did.
Nice.
Amazing, actually. We're going to Welder. 1, 2, 3. And to bench Slugma and attach Fire Energy to active Magcargo
Okay.
for turn. We will just hot mag. That should do 70
Yeah.
plus burn, no matter what the it is. Okay, so I'm not having. I have at least managed to take a return KO.
I'll promote here. I'll draw for turn.
Is that exactly what you wanted?
No, you're gonna love what I'm about to do though.
Brilliant. I half expect you to evolve Terrapagos too.
Right. Touch Spirit Link.
And then draw.
Back up for 6.
Good lord. And you can do that several more times too.
Evolve.
There it
My
is.
turn
With the
doesn't
Spirit Link.
end.
With the Spirit Link, yeah.
Triple Excel.
There's the attachment. The good thing is Heat Factory Prism Star managed to knock out your stadium, so you don't have as many Pokemon in play as you did have.
I'm gonna.
So you're discarding Winona
and
and
Rayquaza-EX.
Rayquaza-EX.
To ground. Yeah, we'll grab Terrapagos. How many cards do you have? I will bench Tropigus, and then I'll back up for 5. 3, 4, 5. I can't play a single one of those cards.
I appreciate that so much.
No way.
No
I can't play a single one of these cards. I was really hoping to find a supporter or the counter stadium here, but I did not find either. That sucked so bad. I can't play. What the heck? Let's see. That's so bad, actually. I think all I can do now is Emerald Break for 150 damage. And this discards itself at the end of turn. That was such a bad. Literally all 5 cards I drew I can't play.
And you drew so many cards this turn, too.
I didn't even get to do my last backup
for
either.
turn.
Ugh.
Okay. Now the question is, how would this? Smooth over. Effect for Prism Star for 3. 1, 2, 3. Catching Floatstone to bench Claydol. Buddy Bay Puffin. Feels silly having to fish them back out after double checking that they were in there. But, you know, cool, I guess. Cosmic Power for 3. Attach Wishful Baton to the active Magcargo. Power Circulation. And then we're going to Ground Burn. So both of us are going to discard the top card of our deck, and if it's an energy card, it does 140 more damage. So 280.
I'm gonna drop 2.
That's what you wanted last turn, right?
Okay. Nine, back up for one. Mm. I'll evolve. I will use Dimension Transfer.
This is the coin flip for item on top of deck, right?
Yep.
His heads.
So right now, Risky Stretcher is looking kind of nice. Honestly, I think that's probably just what I'll take.
And that's what got discarded off. Or is there another one that was already there?
I wanted it back.
Yeah.
That's the card I wanted to find anyway. So we'll put it on top here, and then I'll just draw into it with bracket. And then I'll play the Stretcher. And we're gonna choose to shuffle 3 into the deck because I need more bench Pokemon fodder.
Fair enough.
So those.
So last Lapras, Therapter, FB, and Fanroton.
So far, what we're looking at.
Okay.
Those into the deck. Let's see. We're going to. Yeah, I'm gonna Arden. For
Trying to figure out what you were looking at behind me, and I realized your deck was so.
yeah. Cool, that's price too. Excellent.
That's always the best feeling.
Well, I guess I just need to grab that then, because what I wanted to get is not there. I'll just grab Special Charge. I'll play Special Charge to shuffle 2 double color spectrum.
Okay. That's crazy. You've already knocked out that many. I know one was attached to the Fanroton, the other one just got discarded off of something. Or?
I had to Ultra Ball it away earlier.
Gotcha.
Because all my other targets in hand were bad.
I mean, double close isn't either, especially since I only run 3 of them.
So that's my supporter used. I'm going to look at my discard again. Evolve Dimension Transfer.
Okay. This is gonna be another coin flip for item.
Yep. Heads.
Another heads. What's it gonna be this time?
I think Ultra Morph.
Okay.
Yes. And then I'll draw it back up for 3. 1, 2, 3. That sucks. Ultra Ball. Discarding. Rare Candy and My Rayquaza. Warm.
You discard a rare candy, hurts my soul a little bit. But... I'm going for stage 2 as well now.
Porygon Z.
The Porygon Z is initialized, right?
Mm-hmm. So this one says, when I play this Pokemon from my hand to evolve one of my Pokemon in play during my turn, I get to devolve each of my opponent's evolved Pokemon by putting the highest stage evolution card on it into their hand, which I will be doing now.
So that's going to put Magcargo, Claydol.
It will not get
And
reactive. Wishful
active.
Baton will not trigger because it's by damage from an attack.
That goes to this card.
And I take present. And you print.
I need to codes. Just take one loop them forward, I think. And you're up.
I think that is probably the pass.
Turn. Amazing top deck.
Unfortunately, I couldn't find the double colorless.
Claydol. Fire Crystal.
Mm-hmm.
Welder.
Mm-hmm.
Turn. Power Circulation. Well, Ground Burn for 280.
Oh, we have to discard the top card.
Yes.
I think that's it, unfortunately. Because you have 2 ways to guarantee your top deck. And you only have a single prize left, huh?
Mm-hmm. Let me just attacking Porygon Z.
What in the world? Draw. Lovely. Discard all your special energy.
All gone.
Triple XL.
Gotcha.
Where's the secret?
Mm-hmm.
I wish I owned it was in here.
I'm glad it's not.
I don't think it
I
matters.
don't like this either, actually, but this would be fun.
Or Arvin, I guess. Dimension transfer. Tails. Dimension transfer. Heads. It was off screen, but it was heads.
Yeah, it's it.
Item card on top of the deck.
That's an interesting choice. The thing is, you don't have your draw anymore, right? Because you've evolved them all.
Hmm.
Interesting.
I wish I had. I don't know.
This is a case of surprise time machine.
Arvin.
Yep. This is where we see the secret reset stamp. It's banned. Or the unfair stamp. That's a double ace.
I'll grab the trolley and play it.
Yep. This guy feels this still in play, so.
Whatever, it's the last turn. Right.
The Labrador is like, you're not doing anything. You're going to go down anyway.
I'll decode.
Decode for the viewers. Or what does it do?
It's Cipher Maniacs. I get to search my deck for 2 cards and put them on top of my deck.
Hey, it's like a super smooth over.
Hey, guess what? Double colorless energy I'm putting on top of my deck.
Mm-hmm. No way.
For the draw engine, I definitely have it. Honestly, Prizing Staraptor sucked. That sucked really bad because I couldn't filter through my deck at all.
Yeah, because you'd been able to guarantee. You'd been able to guarantee the INO this turn.
I would have been.
I don't know.
I would have been able to
play it all and.
Well, no, I would have been able to Guzma kill the GX on the bench for 2 prize
The
cards.
EX.
The GX.
Oh, that was in turns ago. Yeah.
I would have been able to do a lot of things. Is the thing. But I'll just Suspicious Beam for 80. Suspicious Beam
That's
beta.
kind of sus.
I take 20 damage and I'm confused.
Drop for turn.
I think I have. Do I have to flip both? I don't know.
I don't even know. No, that's funny though. For giggles, let's get rid of your Skyfield.
Gay.
I mean, if it fits.
It's dead. He's dead. Scorched Earth. More like
At this point, I don't even think it really matters. I'm just gonna load it up. I could do a bunch of.
You know those peppers videos we were watching earlier?
Mhm.
Scorched earth is what your bum looks like after eating the
Look, man.
peppers.
Pepper X. And what was the other one? Pepper X and the
Carolina
Reaper.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, and then I'll just ground burn you for a game.
Are you gonna hit energy?
I don't know. Oh, that's a bigger hit than usual.
So I prized Luxury Ball was the card I wanted to grab off Arvin that one turn, but it was prized. I prized a Porygon, I prized Skyfield. And then the first prize card I took off the was it the Slugma at the beginning or whatever it was I killed was the third Porygon too. That's why I was laughing about it because it was really funny just to be able to throw it out.
That's something surprising. I don't remember the last one, but
That's a lot of Magcargos.
yeah, it was not great, but I still managed to come out on top, so it's okay.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't think this was going to be a very good matchup because I have no way to one shot you.
That initialize was
the
kind of a
shit
nasty
was
one though. Because if you didn't initialize Ion, I'd have just been able to, I don't think I could have done anything.
Yeah, if I had been able to, if this wasn't prized, very different game.
Yeah, initialize Ion would have been a devastating hit. Because
Because the fact that it's an ability and not like TM Diva where it ends your turn by doing that, you actually get to do stuff beyond the initialize. So
yeah,
it's
well, it's the same reason that Banette Omastar ran that one Omastar because it's the same kind of thing.
right. Yeah.
Right. All right, let's look at our deck list. We'll talk about how we feel about them. Up first is Mega Rayquaza-Terapagos. How do you feel about Mega Rayquaza-Terapagos?
I mean, I like the deck. I've played a couple of solitaire games with it, and it feels pretty consistent. The biggest issue with the deck is its damage output. It caps at 240. You just can't go beyond that.
And is that the same? Is that also true of Terapagos, or
Yeah, they're both 30 times multipliers.
So there's-
so.
there's no? Surely there's a way to fix that.
I mean, there's not. I don't think there's anything that buffs normal Pokemon's damage output outside of just like, Muscle Band, Kukui, Kieran, that sort of stuff.
I mean, Kieran would at least get to knock out against Magcargo, but
I don't think that's especially a number that I need to worry too
270.
much about.
I mean, 270, 250, 260, those are all numbers that get hit pretty frequently in Eternal.
It's
Dang,
just short
that's
of
that range,
280,
too.
which I feel like is like the big one though.
Well, if you can hit 280 like Magcargo can, I think you're fine.
Which I think is where this deck has a lot of things it can do, literally just because of the sheer amount of versatility from the different Porygons, and the fact that you can play all this colorless support with like Staraptor level X,
Yeah.
and just being able to have
Those
so many
Porygons
different.
are super good.
The only thing I can think of that I might want to add to this deck is the second Floatstone, just because it's really hard to actually get the level X out.
What about like a surprise
Because-
time machine?
I've thought about that.
Even if it's literally just to strip off a Porygon.
It would the only really situation I would use it in is to replace the initialized one with a dimension transfer.
Well, I mean,
That's like
the only reason I can think of that is like in that situation you were in last turn, you could have theoretically like stripped off the initialized one and then drawn.
That's true, and then just failed it.
Yeah.
I guess that's true, but I don't know. The hard part is this deck has so many Pokemon in it that there's just not a whole lot of deck space.
That's fair.
I don't know what I would cut for any of these changes. I mean, the only thing I could think of is cutting like the Ranger, because I don't really run a whole lot of items.
Yeah.
And that's mostly because Porygon Z can just recover them, so the low number of them is okay. Like, that's why I only run one Candy, one Rescue Stretcher, one Special Charge, because I can just get them back at any point, pretty much.
At one point you were talking about Lusamine too, right?
Not for
Or is
this
that a
deck.
different deck?
That was for a different deck.
That was
But-
for
Yeah, it was for mine. But second Floatstone, probably Surprise Time Machine wouldn't be bad. I didn't even get to play the Azelf that game, because then I would have been able to go get the Staraptor.
yeah.
The problem was, if I did that, the only other card in my hand was the triple XL, so I would have whiffed an attack.
Oof.
So I would have put down Staraptor and I'd already played a supporter that turn, so it didn't matter.
And you didn't have download either at that time, or not download, but backup. Yeah.
No, so it was rough.
And then for my deck lists, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of surprised it worked at all.
I think it's pretty cool. I think it's a neat idea.
I really love Mantine.
The Mantine in that deck's sick.
The Mantine was
there
so
were
good.
I don't know if you noticed, but there were some turns where you weren't even like smoothing over because of the Mantine.
Well, that last turn I didn't even bother smoothing over because it just didn't matter.
Well, the turn before that you didn't either.
No.
Which honestly, the idea should be that you smooth over and then power circulation, so you're still.
I mean, yeah.
my top
If I
deck.
were a better player, I probably would have, but and I definitely should
Because
have.
then that's also ionode proofing you as well by letting you
Yeah, because like I could have thrown like a fire crystal on top. I think I got lucky. I think my fire crystal was
That Claydol at the beginning, the cosmic power you did to get set up was you what hit 3 fire and welder.
Yeah, that was an
So
amazing clay doll.
like you would have had a lot slower of a start without that sort of
Because
drop.
I did have a shaky start before that.
Yeah.
But once I got set up though, it was pretty solid. The clay doll was doing just enough. I did prize one of the clay dolls, so I didn't have two down. But ultimately though, I kind of really wanted Magcargo down, or Slugma Magcargo down more. And then that turn that I smoothed over specifically to get it off him, so that I could drop a Slugma for a follow-up attacker and a Mantine for the attack this turn, or that turn rather, was crazy. The Mantine is super, super good in this. Like, I'm super happy with the Mantine in here.
Mm-hmm.
And smooth over is of course good too and can be really, really abused. I just gotta like get better about actively thinking about how to abuse it. Because you're right, there have been a number of times where I'd have been completely screwed over when I could have smoothed over and didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think this as is isn't bad. I don't think of anything that would change, honestly. Um,
How many flow stones are you running?
I'm running 2 right now. I don't think I need another one. I am kind of sort of questioning the GX in the deck a little bit. Because I remember.
I think the GX is a bit redundant with the Slugmas, right?
Well, it is, but like the advantage is the Slugma can only attach to itself, whereas
It only attaches to itself.
the Magcargo can attach to anywhere. And so there is that. The only problem is that the Magcargo GX is a 210 HP 2 prizer. That's pretty easily squished. So like
it has a really good GX attack though for like that
does.
last like the Crisis Mill 5.
Right, which is why
I think it's worth it only because of that. Because like that's crazy.
I just think it's probably one of those situations where I probably should have just not played it down originally.
You think it's worth surprise timing?
I don't. Because
you put it down, use this ability, get it out.
No, I mean, at that point you're just cramming crap into the deck.
I mean, I still think it's good because you can reuse like smooth overs and stuff. I think that's cool.
Yeah. I do like the Slugmas though. I just wish I'd have been able to like use them at some point. Like having 2 Mantine down would have made that doable. But I never got a chance to do that.
Yeah, it's not like you didn't have the bench space.
Although I could, for what it's worth, I could have just like smoothed over and then Mantined and had both the energies I needed to do everything I wanted to do, and failed to do that too. All the same, I mean, this to be fair, this is my first time playing a deck too.
Yeah,
like I don't know, it seems fine. It seems doable. It seems like it hits good enough numbers.
it's great numbers.
I don't know how it would do against like the really bulky guys like Gardevoir or even Charizard. Like I think it would struggle against Charizard because Charizard can just smack it around.
Because one card we were considering for the deck was Team Starground. That would help a lot in that matchup, like against those big 2 prizes.
It would, and it might be. That's.
I think it's a necessary evil, unfortunately, for the deck.
Because that forces. Yeah, but Starground is only. Is it from active or from any?
I think it's their active. You take an energy and put it on top of their deck, right? So
yeah, I think that's probably the change. I think if I were to change a card to put that in there though, like what the fuck would I cut?
Do you feel like you need both Scorched Earth and Heat Factory?
Yeah, I do. For one thing, even just to bump stadiums, that was useful.
Maybe if you were debating the GX, you could take that out.
GX is a possibility. I don't know how useful Radzard is in here either, honestly. I think maybe later on in the game it would have been good enough because I could have smoothed over.
Because there's a point where like Radzard at that point is only really good for like the prize differential. Because you're hitting more damage with the Magcargos, so there's almost not really an issue with. Or there's not really a point to the Radiant Zard.
The thing is, I am running Prime Catcher, so theoretically I could drop Zard, drop energy, Prime Catcher or something up, knock it out, and then force the prize trade there. I think
Zard's do you feel like Prime Catcher's correct?
Honestly, not necessarily, because when I drew into him, I went, that was a choice. But like at the same time, with how bulky this guy is, if I don't have float stones where I want them, like I probably will have a Wishful Baton there instead. Like that one turn where I had one down before you very rudely knocked it out. I don't know, like
yeah,
I don't know what
hope there was that you didn't have a welder after that.
I just don't know what I would play in its place, I guess. Because like dowsing machine doesn't feel right.
No, I don't think Dowsing Machine. Maybe like what's it called?
Trolley doesn't feel right either. I don't
No,
think Trolley
definitely
does.
not a trolley deck. Me when Heroes Cape.
I mean, Heroes Cape's
My
not a horrible pick.
470 HP Magcargo.
Maximum belt could be a consideration.
Yeah,
Maximum belt would bring it to
Max
330.
Well, the problem I think with Max Belt is it's only against EXs, so you wouldn't KO or Shifu.
I mean, that's true, but at the same time, it would be an extra out against the EX.
You're also not running any bench barrier. How do you feel about that?
It's probably wrong,
Because those Mantines and playoffs look juicy on the bench.
and they are. They're full of kiwi juice. Um,
Crack a clade all open.
and just like that scene in The Lion King where Freaky breaks open the dirt, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's probably too brave because I feel like I do this every deck. I did the same thing to Magnazone when I built it, where I didn't include bench barrier.
You run Mime?
Hmm?
You Mime as your bench barrier?
No, Magnazone doesn't run one either.
Oh, I'm talking about in this deck. Would you run Mime as the bench barrier?
Probably what you should run.
Or do you think Mew would be better?
Mew.
I
I know which one. I just don't understand why you picked that over the mine.
Well, because if you're like if you whiff a KO by a little bit, right? It for a colorless, it
Fair enough.
does the 3
drop-
damage.
Drop 3.
A little bit of a math fix.
10 less HP though, and the bench barrier isn't as good.
Is it 60 HP? I think so.
The bench barrier isn't as good, although I don't know that really matters.
It doesn't matter in this
Deck,
deck.
yeah.
And it's psychic, so it has the same benefits as none.
Oh, it's yeah. If I think probably if I were to run a bench barrier, I'd probably run Mew just to be safe because of that
What set is the Mew from?
Unbroken Bonds.
Unbroken Bones.
It seems fine. I think maybe a few more games we'll know what the right base spec is. I don't think Maximum Belt's a bad call. I think Stargrunt's probably a necessity. Again,
What about Hyper? A lot of stage ones.
there are the only problem I always have with Hyperoma is it feels like I either have Hyperoma or I have them available to evolve.
That's fair. Plus, you're not running Arvin, so maybe not Hyper Run.
Yeah.
Because you can't search it out anymore.
Yeah, I can't. But that is it for today's first draft. So if you guys enjoyed this, and leave your comments down below. What do you think? What changes do you think we should make? What A spec do you think is the best choice for Magcargo? Do you think it's Maximum Belt? Do you think it's Prime Catcher? Do you think it's something else entirely? Is it Pokevital A? Let us know in the comments.
Is it Miraculous Headset?
We'll see you guys in the next one.